Okay, so today we're at the Renewable Heating and Cooling European Technology Platform, and it's the first annual conference. And I have the pleasure to meet with Thomas Nowak, who's the Secretary General of the European Heat Pump Association. So Thomas, this is an opportunity to discuss heat pumps. There's much talk about heat pumps and renewable energy sources, and sometimes you hear the expression aerothermal and hydrothermal. What are these sources?
Thank you, Nigel. Well, we distinguish three sources. We distinguish aerothermal, which is the energy stored in the outside air. We distinguish hydrothermal, which is the energy stored in the liquid water. And we distinguish geothermal, which is energy stored in the ground.
Okay. And a heat pump basically takes advantage of all three sources?
Yes, a heat pump can take advantage of these renewable sources, but it can also use exhaust heat from different other processes or from the air conditioning of a building, for example.
Okay, thank you. One consideration when specifying a heat pump is its efficiency. How do you determine the efficiency, and what are the recommendations for making sure you have an efficient system?
From the building side, we would say we do require a building that is energy optimized in a way that it can be operated with a low temperature heating system. Usually this requires a new building or sufficient renovation to go down in the energy demand of the building. From the system side, it's important to have a good heat pump, an efficient heat pump with a sufficiently high COP, which is the efficiency of the heat pump. For ground or water-based heat pumps, that means approximately 4. For an air source heat pump, that should be 3.5.
Thank you. And in your expectation, what is the timescale for mass market use?
I should say it's today. There is no time scale because in 2008 our statistics show that we have a global sales or a European-wide sales of nearly 600,000 units of heat pumps that are predominantly used for heating, and a lot more for heat pumps that also have a cooling function. And we believe that with the requirements as it's prepared, with the European framework conditions as prepared by the Eco-Design Directive and by the EPBD, by the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive, the market framework is prepared to allow for a very strong growth over the next decade.
And this 600,000 units, was that residential, or did that also include large-scale installation?
That includes a certain number of large-scale installations, but the mass market certainly is in the residential market, and industrial applications is still on a case-by-case basis and requires a lot of individual knowledge.
Okay, thank you. And going forward, how do you see the main research needs for this market sector?
You can distinguish that again on a component or on a unit base. Then it's probably more efficient components, more efficient motors, more efficient pumps, more efficient compressors even. It can be optimized heat pump systems that use less refrigerant charge or more environmentally friendly refrigerants. On the system side, where I see the biggest potential, it would be the integration of the heat pump with different energy sources, and that makes in particular optimized control systems necessary. And on the installation side, it requires, and that indeed is a topic for research, even though it doesn't sound like it, requires the education for architects, for planners and for installers. Certain steps have been taken. We have the OISET program, for example, for heat pump installers, and we have the quality label for heat pumps, but more can be done, and in particular a rollout in more countries is necessary.
Okay. Thank you very much, Thomas.